going to talk about the right Seedling Sutra. In the beginning of the sutra, Shakyamuni Buddha and his disciples walked by a large rice field. Then Buddha said to his disciples, "Whoever sees dependent arising sees the Dharma. Whoever sees the Dharma sees the Buddha." Shriputra didn't understand, so he asked Bodhisattva Maitreya to explain this. If you can understand dependent arising, if you understand that all phenomena are only condition arising from different factors, you will see and realize the Dharma. Everything is empty in its essence. If you see the Dharma, you see the Buddha. Buddha is in our awakened mind. Understand dependent arising, then everything is solved. In the sutra, it especially explains dependent arising in terms of the inner causal conditions and outer causal conditions. Inner causal conditions is our body, our individual existence. The outer causal conditions, that's our environment, the world that we live in. Inner causal conditions is further separated into the inner causes and inner conditions. First, let's look at the inner causes. This is what we mean by the 12 links of dependent origination. How do we take rebirth? We have these 12 links. First, we have ignorance. We believe there is a permanent, independent, controlling self. Because of this delusion, we will give rise to formation. We will produce karma with our body, with our mouth, with our mind. We always produce karma. When you have karma, you will take rebirth. When the parents are copulating, consciousness will attach to the egg and the sperm. They become a fetus in the mother's womb. When your mind is not fully developed, you're called the name. When your body is not fully developed, it's the form. So you have name and form. From there, you have the 6 senses that develop. Our eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. When the mother gives birth, the baby comes into contact with the world. When we have contact, we will always have feeling, pleasurable feelings, unpleasurable feelings. These feelings will cause more craving, love, hate. Everything we experience is because we have feelings and we have strong cravings. After cravings, we're clinging onto the things we like, to positive situation. We dislike things that are against our will. We become angry. Every day we live in our emotion and our feelings. This is the life of a mundane. Then we will have becoming, which produce more formation, more karma. After the becoming, we will take rebirth. We'll reincarnate. It might not be a human, it can be an animal, it can be anything depending on what you did this lifetime. Afterwards, we will have aging and death. So this is the cycle of reincarnation. That's what we call dependent arising. This rises, that rises. This ceases, that ceases. It's all just making up of different interconnected links. And in these links, you do not see a me in any of these. They are just conditions because they will always change depending on your karma. So they are illusory in nature. But because we do not understand dependent arising, that's why we keep reincarnating and cannot be enlightened, cannot see the Buddha. So from these 12 links, you should have epiphany. There is not an ego that you're clinging onto. So how do we stop these links? We need to break the links, break the chain by breaking the becoming, breaking the clinging, breaking the craving. We will not be attached to our possessions, to our reputation, because we're constantly pursuing these things. That's also the reason we're not happy. So this 12 links is called a great heap of suffering. That is the truth. There are 4 main links that serve as the cause for assembling the 12 link of dependent origination. They are ignorance, karma, consciousness, and craving. Consciousness itself is the nature of a seed. Karma is served as a field for the seeds. Ignorance and craving, they are the nature of afflictions. So with karma and afflictions, that's what the seeds of consciousness develops. Karma is served as a field for the seed of consciousness to grow. The craving, they moist the seed to grow. And ignorance, they sow the seed. So without these conditions, the seed of consciousness will not develop. So that's the main cause and conditions for the existence of the 12 link of dependent origination, our process of reincarnation, our own existence. Now let's look at the inner conditions. We need these conditions to support our existence, which are the 6 elements. The element of the earth, that's the solid part of our body, our bones. Then we have water, that's cohesion of our body, our blood, our saliva. Then we have the fire that helps with our digestive system. Then we have wind, our breathing that keeps us alive. Then we need hollow space in our body for us to exist. Then we also need the 5 consciousness, our eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, plus the thinking mind, the 6 consciousness. These 6 elements makes up a person. This is telling us in all these conditions, there is no me. When you see there's no me, then you will not be separated from others. We will not have oppositions. We can love everybody equally. They are not permanent, they are not real, but we're just living this life in a conditioned arising world. That's all. So then you will have true compassion, true peace of mind, and true wisdom about this whole existence. Now let's look at the outer causal conditions. Pretty much the same, but now we use the example of the rice seedling fields. Instead of the 12 links, the outer form, they also from a cause and conditions, one factor after another. From the growing of the rice seedling, we can see all phenomena are only condition arising. How do we have this big rice field? It's because there was a seed. It sprout, then we will have a leaf, then we will have a stem. It will produce the pedicel. Then we will have a pistil, a flower, a fruit. This is how everything grows. From these 8 links, we have the rice seedling. Does the seed say to himself that I give rise to the sprout? Does the sprout say I was formed by the seed? No. So if you can see, they are not individual existence. All these links, they don't have an I. They don't really exist by themselves. They don't say, oh, I am so great, I'm so special because I made you come alive. They don't do that. So they have no ego, they have no arrogance, they don't have anything that we have. So if you can see the only dependent arising, then you will have peace of mind. So one comes after another. This is called karma. That's all. That's how the world comes about. That's why Shakyamuni Buddha said this verse while he sees the big rice field. Now let's look at the outer conditions, same as the inner condition, almost, just a little different. There's the earth that supports the seed. We also need the water that moistens the seed, fire, the sunlight to ripen the seed, the wind to open the seed. We also need the space to give it room to grow. We need the seasons to give it time to grow. So we need space and time. So these are the conditions. That's how the whole big rice field come about. This is only condition arising. The true essence is emptiness. You should not be attached to worldly things. The things you love is only made out of parts. This body is only made out of parts. You do not say the eyes is me, the nose is me, because nothing is really you. And if you can see this, you will understand non-self. You will be free from suffering. Now let's talk about the 5 aspects. These are 5 important aspects you need to know about all conditions arising, include the inner causal condition and the outer causal conditions. Everything is not discontinuous. As you can see, it's one link after another. Therefore, it's all continuity. So reincarnation is not going to stop. Our thoughts keep going, so they will keep going. And also, karma is not permanent. Even though they keep going, but they're constantly changing. Therefore, they're not permanent. And how do they arise? They do not arise from themselves. They do not rise from others. They do not rise from the combination of the two. And they do not rise without a cause. So that's the true condition arising. They are not permanent. They are not transmigrational. There is no transmigration of this existence to the next existence. There's not the ceasing of the seeds and the coming of the sprout. There's no coming or going. But because there's no deficiency of requisite cause and conditions, karma still manifests. For example, just like a reflection of a face on the surface of a well-polished mirror, the face did not actually shift into the surface of the mirror because there is no deficiency of requisite cause and conditions. Therefore, the face appears. Karma works in this way. Condition arising works in this manner. Lastly, large results from a small cause. A small seed, we might have lots of fruits. Small ignorance, we might have lots of reincarnation. So do not belittle your thoughts. Every little thought is a cause. You will have retribution. Continuity of similar types. Karma works with different types. If you plant an apple, you have an apple. You will not get something else. So if you plant wholesome thoughts, wholesome deeds, you will have good karma. If you have bad thoughts, bad deeds, you will have bad karma. So it always continues with similar types. Karma doesn't make any mistakes. Condition arising is karma. So it's just talking about it in more complex but detailed manner. That in all these conditions, there is not an ego. There is not a self. If you can see through that, you will see the Buddha. You will truly understand what is called enlightenment. Understanding your own existence, understanding the existence of the world. So that's the class for today. Thank you so much for listening. Amitabha.